Present the people.
Yeah, one of the things that I've learned in my 4 years on the town board is that you do work for everybody in this town. Whether they voted for you, whether they didn't vote for you, even if they call you irresponsible, you still work for them. And we spend a lot of time trying to find consensus. We spend a lot of time on the board listening to what people have to say, and it's always into our decisions, always.
I think that I share both Aaron and Toby's view on this, that bringing people together and finding common ground when possible is the role of board members. I do think that there are times when you have to stick by your principles and make decisions that not necessarily everybody agrees with. I'm a very skilled mediator. In fact, I have mediated and facilitated some somewhat contentious discussions for this town in regards to both subdivision development and regulation, and also in regards to, I don't know if people remember when there was concern that there would be for lack of a better word, an adult entertainment place that might open up where the old livery closed. And I've mediated discussions that are complex and had multiple perspectives, as one might imagine, from this community. And we got the job done, not by pounding our fist and coming up for our 3 minutes at a microphone in front of the board, but by sitting in circles and talking face to face and listening well to each other and what the values and concerns were. And we got the job done.
Oh, I'm sorry. I got confused.
Well, the nice thing about going last is everybody's pretty much covered the ground. I gotta agree with all three of my cohorts up here. Of course we listen. Even I listen. I'm actually not that bad a listener. I'm not that bad a talker either. I'm not that bad of a listener. In the end, like I say, I will do what is right, and my obligation is to be honest and transparent in the process. And as I've said before, this election provides a great opportunity to either validate me or send me back to the pumpkin patch.
Hi, my name is Mary Alice Kobler, and my question tonight is for Pete Hoyt, because I follow who does what on the town board, and I understand you're the emergency management liaison, and we've had some emergencies, so I would like you to tell me what you feel like you have done there, and give us the scope of that.
I'd be happy to. When we started getting all that flooding, I wished I could have put my arms up like this and spread the seas apart, but I tried it in my house and it didn't work, so I didn't want to go out and try it anymore. In all seriousness, we have responders in fire departments, ambulance departments, county level responders. The last thing they need is some amateur bozo from the town board getting out there and messing around. So I didn't do a darn thing. I do go out to the Speedsville Fire Company I try to go out every other month, and I haven't been quite that good. I've been out about 4 times a year for the last 4 years to sort of personally liaise with them, because that's the one organization that doesn't have a fire district behind them. The town board is their fire district. So if that is good enough to be doing something for emergency services, that's what I do. But as far as trying to stick my nose in what people who know what they're doing are doing, I see no point in that whatsoever.
Yes, sir. And then
Toby, this question's for you. Oh, my name's Jonathan Comstock. I live in Caroline up on Bald Hill School Road. And of the 4 candidates, I feel that you've been least forthcoming about your actual views on the matter of fracking. What we have heard after all the impassioned meetings and discussions is that you believe that the opinions of the town are irrelevant, and after that you've declined to give us one. You've said that in such time that the court case is currently playing out in the town of Dryden and other places which have bans, have played their way through the entire system, and if they win, you would then rethink and perhaps tell us what your own views are then. My question is, if the Dryden court case was decided tomorrow, would you support a ban or wouldn't you?
Well, Jonathan, we've been around this issue several times. As you know very, very well, and as a lot of people in this room know, my attitude on this is that whether or not this town is allowed to try to control, regulate, or prohibit natural gas exploration within its borders is not up to us. And if you choose to feel that it's up to us to do, or other people feel it's up to us to do, I really think you're mistaken. And this is going to get clarified very, very soon. The Dryden case gets heard on November 4th, 9 days away from the start of that. There's a case in Middlefield that's going to play out. Once the courts come back, once the courts tell us what's going on, then either we know we can do something about this or we know we can't. And your question to me is, would I support a ban on gas exploration in this town if the courts say that we have that authority? This is your question.
That is my question, yes.
Okay. My answer, oh.
I'm sorry, we have to move on to the next question. 30 seconds.
It'll take less than that. I would never support a town-wide ban if we were given the authority.
Thank you.
My name is Robin Tilton. I live on Connington Road. My question is basically for Aaron and Irene. Not so long ago, there was a dispute regarding the recreational hiking trail, which runs through the town of Caroline. And at that time, many of us property owners who own adjacent property to that trail were forced to come out and fight for our rights to control what happens on our property and have a voice for our own property. And I would like you to tell me what your thoughts and your position are on the trail issue and on us property owners having a voice for our own property and what happens on that property.
Okay, maybe I just need a little clarification if I don't mind standing there. So you decided to, you're saying, so you decided to close some of your land for the trail?
No. The trail runs through the town of Caroline, and there was a committee that said, we're going to open that trail up to everybody, anyone who wants to come. It imposed a lot of insurance issues, safety issues, in the way that I use my property. If you allow strangers to come walking through my property because you have a right of way.
Aaron, that's the railroad bed, not the federal.
Honestly, I would need more time with the issue. You know, I can't give you the answer, a diligent answer right now. So I would need more time to think about it. So, sorry.
I have to admit that I was not particularly involved in that issue, and I don't know the specifics of the history. I'll tell you the kind of process that I would like to use for any kind of issue of that sort is that it would be a community meeting and circle where a variety of people would be able to express their concerns, their visions, their dreams, their why they value it, why they don't, what problems might arise, and that collectively we would work together to see if there were solutions that could be achieved. If not, then I think that we would have to call it moot. But that would be the process that I would want to use for your issue or for any number of land use issues.
Yes, question in the back.
My name is Nancy Mesereau, and I'm
Speak a little closer. closer to the mic.
My name is Nancy Mesereau, and I live on Brooktondale Road. I'm sharing a house with Carol Jennings. I don't know if anybody knows her, but in listening to the speeches that a couple of people gave tonight, I think it was either Mr. Hoyt or Mr. McDonald said that 70% of our town taxes go towards maintaining roads. Is that right? And that these gentlemen said that they wanted to keep
Is there a question?
yes, they wanted to be fiscally responsible with our taxes. And I'm addressing the question to Mr. Hoyt and Mr. McDonald. If it takes 485 truck trips just to build the pad for the fracking, and they're going to be on our roads, like, aren't our taxes going to be exponentially increased? And how are you going to handle that?
I'd be happy to answer that. I'm the one that made the statement that that's where 70% of your tax dollars goes towards the town highway department. One issue that New York State is very clear about as far as the authority that towns have when it comes to gas exploration is that we are permitted to have road use agreements. And this is something the town board is currently working on. And what a road use agreement entails is that if you are going to have a large construction project, if you are going to be increasing truck traffic over a certain roadway or certain road route, then the town is entitled to have you reach certain agreements with us before we permit you to use those roads. And this is how roads are maintained, improved, and kept in good condition when there's a lot of traffic. So it wouldn't be your dollars paying for the damage and upkeep on a road that sees, I don't know what the number was of truck trips that you chose to use.
485.
Okay, 485 truck trips. It would be their dollars that would take care of that.
No, we'll have to go to another question. But Mr. Hoyt.
Sure. Toby said it just right, better than I could have. We've been involved not just here in the township, but with the county governments that Don's been working on. And so this is an issue that's being tackled across all of Tompkins County. And whereas individual towns might come up with their own formulas, or we might all share one, that's all yet to be determined. It might be a road use agreement. I'd rather see those. Road use law is also possible. What I think makes the most sense is for the state to stipulate in its permitting process that in order to be granted a drilling permit, the permit applicant, the driller, would have to achieve road use agreements with all the municipalities over whose roads he's going to travel. And then that becomes a contract. And a lot of research has already been done on this. So I think the taxpayer is being well protected here.
Gentleman there. Right there, black jacket.
Hi, I'm Tim Murray. I live on Sladeville Road, and I have a question for Pete Hoyt.
I'm so popular.
You all might remember that up to 2 years ago, between Sladeville Springs and Crispell's, there were 5 different changes of speed limit, from 35 to 45 to 35 to 55 to 45. I came before the town board on behalf of residents of Sladeville Road at that time and encouraged the town board to solicit the state to change that speed limit. The town board rightfully did so, and now we have a safe road. Pete, you're the liaison for safety in the town. You refused to support that change. Can you explain why?